job trying to talk to us like we were 5 is what I asked her to do, because it was a little complicated and it was about EMPs. So if you're not versed in that kind of technical language, it can be a lot to try and process. But it was a very good video, so thank you.
Yeah, yes, it was really good. And you're right, there is so much. And a lot of there's some technical stuff too. But yeah, you did a great job with her, and I can't wait to hear more because you said you're going to bring her on again.
Yes, I'm I actually asked her if she'd be a reoccurring guest for the next couple of weeks on Mondays.
Awesome.
Because there's several topics she's very knowledgeable about. And yeah, I'm like, it's always nice to have a scientific girl in the back pocket so we can ask those questions. If you're not well versed in those type of things, it's hard to dip your toes into it without having maybe more of an expert help you. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is to get her ear and her opinion on certain things that I like to look into.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, what have you thought of? Like, what, first of all, so we were here commentating during the debate. How did
hmm
you feel? Do you feel like I was, thinking about this question? Would I like to watch a debate again like that, or would I like to wait and react afterwards? There's pros and cons to each, but did you think about that at all?
That's a good question. I liked doing it live with everybody because you could kind of see people's sentiment in the comments. You could see your fellow creators and how they feel. It kind of helps you think out loud as you're watching it. I would probably do it again, but I do think it would be cool to have watched it with fresh eyes the first time by myself too. I think it's like there's pros and cons. The
Yeah.
pros is I got to hear everyone's opinions and kind of figure out how I felt about it in real time. Whereas if I was just listening, I might not have paid as good of attention. So I think for me, attention wise, it was probably better for me to be live instead of like going off and listening to my ear and whatever. I might have missed a couple things. So I think for this big of a debate, yes, but for something smaller, probably not.
Yeah. I felt the same way, but I really enjoyed watching other people's takes on it afterward. I loved being with you guys. I think I'd prefer to do it that way and then go back like I have. But like you said, yeah, there are pros and cons. So was there anything that occurred to you after the debate, that now that we've had a few days to think about it and listen to other people?
Yeah, so I feel like we've heard a lot about winning and losing and all of those things, but I kind of was just thinking that people don't realize that both of those people, Candace and Andrew, can be a little bit more ruthless than they were at the time. And I think people wanted them to be a little bit more. But I actually thought it was a decent display of civility between both of them. If you've actually ever watched an Andrew Wilson debate, not even just the OnlyFans girls, but other people, he was relatively tame. And I think people on his side wanted him to have a knockout with Candace. And I think oppositely, Candace is a firecracker. She could have went 100 times harder. And I actually think it's good for public discourse to sit there and talk to somebody who has been agitating you for months to try and get you to take a debate, trying to get her in gotchas, things like that. And she showed a lot of class. So it was it was a master class on how to talk to your quote unquote enemies. And it wasn't like they weren't, still hostile a little bit, but it could have been way worse. And that's kind of where I sat with it at the end.
It could have been way worse. I mean, that's true. It definitely didn't get ugly.
Yeah.
He was childish. At one point, I was hoping to be able to have enough time today to get the clip, because there was one time and I wish I had said something while we were on air, but he was slouching in his seat. Like, it was after his embarrassment, when he was thoroughly embarrassed about the charges, but I felt like he was like kind of sunk down into his seat. And I noticed that again when I was rewatching it. But yeah, so I thought about, like, why did he do it at this time? Who was his audience? Like, what was his angle actually? And what was his primary target? And I think there are a couple. I think he was trying to be the man who publicly disciplined Candace Owens on
The way to put
behalf
it.
of the conservative movement and TPUSA. I think he wanted to be that man. the conservative movement wants her contained desperately, but they cannot
Good way to
control
put it.
her.
I love that. Yes.
She's like, you're not the boss of me.
Right.
So I think, and also for, I think people other than Candace Owens and the crew of people, the community of people were trying to investigate, really working to investigate because we think things are amiss. But for other people, I think it's become a story or a struggle over inheriting Charlie Kirk's authority.
I completely agree with that. I saw the title for your video and I think you're exactly right because people are trying to use Charlie's name in vain or in likeness, whether they're justified or not. And a really good example of that was when Pam Bondi tried to pass those anti hate speech laws in Charlie's name after he was taken off the board, when he was clearly on record saying he didn't even support anti Semitism laws. And people miss that. And I think that's what they're trying to do is try and make it seem like this is exactly what Charlie wanted or didn't want. We actually rarely hear from his wife in that regard. She kind of instead tries to allude to like, I wish Charlie was here to tell us what he wants, but he's on record a lot of the time saying what he wanted. Sorry. So I just feel like that every other guy who's ever talked to Charlie in their life says what Charlie wants. So I think you have a very good point with that.
Yeah, and not only did she, say, "Well, I wish Charlie was here," specifically during that when they were talking about one of the debates. I think it was Arizona State. But she was saying, "I wish we could know." But the fact is at the very beginning, from the jump, she was saying, "I know everything," because whoever called her and said, "Hey, what do you know about the organization?" All of that, she's like, and she was very specific. "I know everything." In fact, she had that little glint in her eye when she said it. "I know everything."
She might have, who knows?
So, I mean, if you know everything, Erica, what's up? So either she's lying or there are other things that we don't know that were going on behind the scenes. But so yeah, Erica possesses TPUSA, so she wants it. Candace has claimed access to Charlie's private doubts and more of his legacy in that sense. And then Andrew wants to come in and be the man and claim authority over logic for a cross-examination. And he really he didn't want to debate her. Like, I think I heard somebody say he wanted to depose her.
Wow, that's a good way to put that.
Yeah. So I think, also looking at the debate's timing, I don't know. What do you think of the timing of it?
In regards to before the 1 year of his
No,
passing, or
no,
before
but him
the
coming
trial?
on now, like why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they're getting desperate because they're probably losing too much control of the narrative, and someone in PR probably said they should not respond to anything ever. And so they want to have some weird third party person come out here and attempt to defend their legacy and make Candace. They always try and make her look crazy. I think that's their angle. They want to make her look like some crazy woman that goes off of vibes and feelings. That's always their line with her, even though she's brought many receipts, photos, the text messages that we all know about, things like that. So they're trying to paint her in a negative light, but they don't want it to come from TPUSA anymore. And I think Stu Peters basically said that was the main reason he debated Andrew, was to show he's coming from TPUSA still, guys. Don't be alarmed here. That's what he's here to do. And they haven't technically claimed him that we can tell, but it's just, if you follow any sort of pattern recognition, you can see that he goes and gives Erica a hug, gives them debate school, and then says that and I caught this in a video someone had sent me, that basically he had said he proposed to TPUSA that he could be the conspiracy theorist liaison. And that was caught in a video on someone else's channel. So to think he didn't make that proposition is probably silly. Like, I'm sure he did propose to be the conspiracy theorist liaison between TPUSA and Candace Owens.
Yeah, I'm sure he did, because I think when when he does that, there are powerful people working with TPUSA, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if he garners favor with them, that sounds like a good motive and motivation to me. Also, I don't know a lot about him, but what I've gone and looked at is it seems like since 2024, he's been trying to step into more of the larger formats, and really targeting masculinity channels, on the larger scale, and the political landscape, trying to jump into that. So, yeah, I think he was just positioning himself there as the toll booth. You want to cross the bridge, you got to get around me.
Right. As if Candace Owens needs to do that. Like, this is Candace Owens we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you think, do you know what his viewership was?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
even look.
I mean, but he's tapping, not that he was going to pull anybody away from Candace, but he could potentially, who are in the MAGA movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are disillusioned and unhappy with it. They could possibly, come over to Candace's side, right? Because they're really distrusting a lot of the things in the administration. So I think it could have been also a preventative measure to help not, bring those people back. Oh, come on, she's still crazy, don't worry about it. But also she has hundreds and thousands of audience, a larger audience, recognition as a conservative, and powerful. And yeah, and he got some pretty good highlight reels. He could live off of that for a month or so.
Well, and the thing is that I think Candace played it really smart, because if he tried to trap her into flying off the handle at all, they would have spun that around a million times and put the crazy Candace label on her. So her staying more composed and not throwing gotchas at him and not being rude in any way, she did that strategically, because PBD said it himself. He said that's what Candace did right. You could baptize someone with the way she was very calm and collected the whole time. And I thought that was a fair analysis by PBD in regards to how Candace did.
Did you watch his commentary afterward? Has he said? I haven't caught anything.
So I watched it because Baze covered it. So whatever Baze covered is what I actually watched, because I was catching up to Baze's stream last night, which I will never be able to catch up to that whole thing. It was like 6 hours. But I know. But I was listening while I was getting ready, and PBD had said that Candace did well. She was calm and collected. But he also said he thought they were both winners. That Andrew probably got a lot of money out of it. And he thought Andrew won more. And so he was trying to you could tell he was trying to be moderate, because he said, as the job of a moderator, I need to be moderate here. He clearly favors Andrew Wilson personally, but I will say during the debate, he did seem to like even chuckle when Andrew Wilson pulled up 4 videos of Erica Kirk, and was like, what's the point of, you could tell like he's not stupid. So I'm sure he clearly has more contacts with Andrew Wilson's side of the house, but he was still pretty fair to Candace.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty fair. I saw some of his faces on X, people getting still shots of his faces, which are pretty funny, and the memes going around. Did you see Debatrix? The Debatrix video?
That Candace reposted that. That was so funny.
So funny. Have you guys, tell me in the chat, did you guys see the Debatrix video on X?
It was by Forbidden HQ, wasn't it?
I'm gonna play it. Yeah. Yeah, for Forbidden HQ. Let's see. Tell me if you guys saw it. Let me see if I can share it here. So funny. And let's put you and me over here. Okay. Do I like that, or do we like
There we
this?
go. I like that one.
Okay.
You need to show me how to do this offline, because I can never get my StreamYard to put my head up here.
I know. Okay, wait. This is so funny, you guys. Okay.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill and you can just keep saying, so what? You take the red pill you learn everything about the Tyler Robinson case.
So what? So what? So what? So what? Positive evidence? So what? So what? When? Appeal to emotion? So what? Burden of proof? So what? So what? So what? So what? Appeal to emotion? So what? Burden of proof? So what? Positive evidence? Positive evidence? Positive evidence? Positive evidence? So what? So what? So what? Appeal to emotion? What? So what?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop!
This is epic.
Go follow them on X. So epic. That was amazing.
That's how we all felt afterwards. I think. Like, okay, Erica Plant.
Yeah, let me see. I think I have.
They're processing their guilt.
Oh,
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Do you have that on a button? Are you
I
clicking?
do. I recorded on. And then this one.
processing their guilt. They're processing their guilt. They're processing their guilt.
That's
Oh.
great.
So the other thing that I thought of too was his maybe part of his purpose was to help TPUSA with uneasy donors. Because if you're a donor, I mean, not the major ones who are maybe more elite and maybe could be part of this, but
Right.
if you're a donor, you could get uneasy. I mean, you know, who knows if they listen to any of us? They probably listen to, you know, mainstream media, but yeah, I mean, he could have very easily been there to help bring those people back.
That's a really good point. By also making Candace look crazy. Like, I think that would go into his strategy is like, see, look, why would anyone believe her? She can't even back up with positive evidence. Which, if I had to hear that word one more time, I wanted to pull my hair out. That was the one thing I'm like, positive evidence.
Yeah.
We're not in debate class, buddy. Like, she said, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you for a reason. Because you are making this painfully hard for people to watch at this point with that positive evidence stuff.
So she said she might make merch out of that line. I think it's classic. She has to.
She
She
does.
really has to.
I
would
really
buy
hope
one.
it does. Have you seen? This is totally sidebar. Have you seen Baron's merch before?
I briefly, I love his actually. His is my favorite stuff out there.
He has, and I was so happy. I had went on his merch, and his prices are really reasonable. The only merch I actually own, I'm gonna backtrack even more, is the Y-Files tinfoil hat, shirt, and base. So it takes a lot for me to buy someone's merch. But I kind of want Baron's because his says the number one man or the number one fan of the Man from Tennessee, which is one of my favorite songs.
I love
It's a
that song.
classic song. Yes, you like that song too. I
Yes.
thought I need that shirt. That is such a good. I thought that was so brilliant.
Yeah, that is. His merch is good. I like
Yeah.
the sayings on his stuff.
I also
Okay.
like Tucker's recently. He's had some pretty good ones.
Yeah,
He's-
Tucker does too.
but I've not purchased.
So would you buy what would you buy that says explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Would you buy it?
I would buy it on a hat.
Yeah, a hat. That'd be
I
good.
feel like that'd be a great hat.
That would be a great hat.
So yes, probably.
Well, I think now would be a great time to look at the Jimmy Dore
Let's do it.
clip, because talking about Erica and the lies, they brought this on themselves. I'm telling you, because people did reach out. Candace reached out. Them acting crazy and acting strange from the beginning. They want to turn it around and gaslight and say, well, it's your fault. You know how those people do. They turn out whatever they do to you, they turn it around onto you and say, you're doing this to me. But they acted weird from the very beginning, and they just continue to pile it on and blame everyone else. So,
Right.
I think one thing that Andrew said said, I said to me, I was going to say to me that he said to me
He said it to us.
personally. Yeah,
He
that
told
said
us.
to us was he's like, well, what if Erica does really think, that it's cut and dry? What if she really literally does believe that? And you're just, essentially being mean to her. What do you think the chances are?
0 to 5%.
0 to 5%.
What about
Wow,
you? What are
that's
the
pretty
chances
low.
that
I
she
mean,
thinks that?
like, I try to think of what would be the only logical explanation if she's not part of the collusion to make something happen or to cover it up after the fact. What's the other logical explanation I can find that she would still be so blind and deaf to all of these things? And to me, the only logical explanation is that she just believes it. Or if she has doubt, she's in so deep with the administration and the powerful people that she can't speak out without losing money. So, I mean, that's what it end up with: power, prestige, and money.
I think that has to be, I've actually thought to myself, I'm going to back up my thought here, that could be part of some of these people and how they act. I don't know that I believe that everybody's involved. I think looking at people is fair, but I don't know that I can, sign off on every single person Charlie ever knew was doing this to him. I just don't know that I believe that. But and are they maybe complicit or unwilling to talk about it because it's very dangerous? You just saw Charlie get taken off the board in such a hideous fashion. Wouldn't that silence a lot of us? It just depends. It depends on your moral compass. It depends on where you are in life. Depends if you have children, a family. A lot of these people aren't lone wolves. They're not out here like, that this is me. This is just my life. Like, a lot of people at this age have families and people they also have to protect. So that could be where she stands, especially because she has children. So I don't know. I want to give her the generous and charitable thought, but she also acted really, really, really weird. Like, so
Yeah.
weird that it was hard to comprehend.
Beyond, it's like weird is not even a strong enough word. She behaved as though she were guilty. Like, I mean, because weird just doesn't do it justice. It just means, oh, she's just kind of, to me, I'm like, that's not a strong enough word. Really, we keep saying that, but really, it wasn't just weird. It was bizarre and completely unimaginable how she behaved.
And her Glenn Beck interview that everyone's referencing again and again, like now saying where she's like, and I have his cell phone.
Yeah.
Who talks like that? I mean, I've never literally talked like that to anybody over a podcast. I've done this now almost a year. When would I ever say that? I would never say it like that. I would, just imagine you're in her position. I would be like, yeah, I haven't seen those messages. I should probably look again.
Yeah.
But for now, I mean, I have his phone and I don't see anything alarming.
Yeah. Why was she
How
so
hard is that?
sassy about it? Like right
Very
away.
creepy.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I almost forgot to mention about Andrew Wilson. So our first contextual clue about why he wanted to do the debate should have been the fact that he offered money to Candace Owens, because people usually do to others the thing that is important to them, right? So money
True.
talks. And obviously that's what he believes is money talks. So we have a contextual clue there, a very large 300,000 of them.
Quite the pot.
Yeah. Yeah, about why he did that.
Barron did make a good point. He said that he knew they would use that money against her, and I have seen that already online. Especially since if she didn't blow him out of the water, they probably wouldn't have used it against her, but because they can grasp at straws for anything, they are going to say she only did it for the money. She didn't do it because she cared about Charlie, things like that. And I do think that was kind of a trap set. Now, doesn't mean she didn't make $300,000, and it probably wasn't a smart move, or it probably was a smart move given she has lawsuits on her. So I don't necessarily blame her for doing it. But I do know they'll just twist anything for, the sake of a story.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing though, is they put her into a no-win format, because if she refused, they could say she was afraid. If she accepted, he gained access to her audience. If she accepted, they could turn that around on her and say, oh, it's for the money. If she became emotional, they could call her irrational. If she made concessions, they could say that they qualified, she disqualified her own claims. So if she doubled down on her claims and was more strong about them, they could depict her as reckless and, use that against her in the lawsuits.
Exactly.
So, there was just, she won in my book, but he did the thing at the end is really what he was going for. Is she admitted, well, I don't think, even if she had proof, she's not going to sit there and say I have proof, because she's not going to give that to them.
Right. 100%.
But
Well, and they
that's
kept
really-
saying she didn't have proof that Israel was on the ground. It's like, yeah, but Joe Kent said they weren't allowed to look into that stuff. And there were tips about 12 Israeli cell phones. So that doesn't mean she doesn't have proof. It just means in your book, it doesn't qualify as proof. What your definition and ours is can be different. But right now, Candace Owens isn't the the defense attorney going up against the prosecution. She's just talking in the court of public opinion, which is what she wanted. So him and his positive evidence and his where's your proof and this stuff, it's like, I didn't even mind that she said, watch my show, because at a certain point, he just became like, she had explained things to him so many times. He still played stupid. I'm sure she was getting exhausted with him.
Yeah, so like a toddler.
Yes, that's what it was, like beating back a toddler.
So if you're just joining us, please hit the like button. Please subscribe, hit all notifications bells. ADN has a channel on YouTube and on X. Please subscribe to her as well. Hit the heart next to the chat to let the algorithm know we're here. We're discussing the debate and what we digested over the weekend about that. And now we're going to talk a little more about Erica Kirk and some of the lies that she's told, but specifically about answering reasonable questions. ADN has a video for us. Let's go ahead and I think I like that.
Do it.
There we go.
Oh wait, that might be the
That's
wrong one.
one.
That was our past one, y'all.
Stop.
No big deal. Okay.
Okay, you're driving.
I'm driving. So this is Aubrey with Jimmy Dore. Aubrey was one of the whistleblowers actually already with Candace Owens. She went on Jimmy Dore. We'll probably watch the first. I'm going to try and gauge it within the first 10 minutes because it gets a little raunchy after that. But it's Jimmy Dore, guys. So if you're around kids, close their ears. Let's go.
My chest, it's bothering me so much right now about something that Andrew said, which is Andrew mentioned that he reached out to Turning Point in good faith and received an answer regarding Charlie's text messages back and forth with the security team. And he was saying, oh, it's just such a shocker how when you reach out in good faith, like they might actually respond. Well, as the sole individual who's handling the press@tpusa.com email inbox for months on end prior to Charlie's assassination and after, there were a few other people who handled it too, but I had access to the entire thing after Charlie's assassination. There were so many people who reached out in good faith, both reporters, reputable reporters, and just normie individuals just from around the world who reached out in very good faith with just these kind of similar questions. And we were told explicitly, like, you don't respond to these people. Like, we didn't respond to any of them.
So a TPUSA whistleblower has come out to, again, if there's like Andrew Wilson was the worst, Mr. Master Debater. First of all, at the beginning of his thing, he said that he was supposed to defend his position was that there was overwhelming evidence. So when you have a debate, you have to say what your claim is, and then you have to defend it. And his was that there was overwhelming evidence. In the first 5 minutes, he reads his opening statement, and PBD says to him, well, what percent? Because he's a numbers guy. He says, what percent are you convinced that he's guilty, Tyler Robinson? And he goes, 75, maybe 85%. Well, that's not overwhelming. That's you just out debated yourself. You just revealed. That's barely whelming. You know what that's called? That's called reasonable doubt.
The structure motorized pergola system is reinventing the way homeowners
YouTube
experience the outdoors.
That's what that's called. You saying there's reasonable doubt that I can't believe I missed that. but I did miss it, and I had Baron Coleman pointed it out when I was watching his show that he already blew it at the top of the show. He admitted that he didn't, and then he redefined what overwhelming meant, and he said, well, it just means that I'm convinced. No, that's not what overwhelming means. Overwhelming means that you're convinced. You could be convinced on 10% of the evidence. That doesn't mean that. So anyway, but he admitted that he has reasonable doubt because 75%. So I just want to get that off my chest. But I'm showing you this to show that. And then he lied about having that text message from Charlie Kirk on September 9th saying and now here he is. He's going to read you and listen to what he says, because a TPUSA insider who has knowledge is completely saying that he's lying when he says this. Let's watch.
Field. On September 9th, Charlie's security team wrote to him, yes, law enforcement has been fully supportive and agreed to a security plan and posture. Tomorrow's event will be covered by both my team and the campus PD. If additional support is required, patrol units will be available. I have 11 on site. Charlie responded with this. Okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only.
Okay, that doesn't sound like anything Charlie Kirk would ever say. First of all, because he didn't say this, because this text is made up.
If he did say it, that's...
Okay, I'm going to pause it there for like 2 seconds because I forgot to ever react to that. But did you feel like that text did not sound like Charlie Kirk? He'd be like, they're there for one person only?
No, it doesn't sound like him at all. To me, I mean, obviously I don't know him, but it doesn't not at all sounds like, first of all, because he wasn't concerned with anybody. And in fact, I thought I had the link here in my notes and I don't, but he was on with Grant Cardone. Did you see that clip?
Oh, yes, I saw that video where they were talking about how he's not really worried about the left. He's worried about the insiders that are close to him.
Yep. He wasn't worried about, people, hurting him from other countries or anything. That he was concerned about his circle. That's what terrified him.
Yeah. And I forgot. What's so funny is this text, they meant to be a gotcha. And I literally forgot about it. I'm glad Jimmy Dore played it because it was just that inconsequential to anyone's feelings over if Charlie Kirk either said that, or even if he did say that, if it really affected anything, because it obviously didn't. They didn't take the security precautions necessary. So even if he did say that, he still left this earth. Right. So it was inconsequential to me.
Yeah.
But sorry, paused there before we got to the Aubrey part. But I was like, oh, we should probably react to that because I totally forgot I even said that.
Yeah.
Kind of incriminating at the security team.
Yeah, 100%. So, and then he goes on to say this.
Because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th.
Now, he's making that up. He made up a lot of stuff. He just outright lied about a lot of stuff. And that's one of them. And then when he was asked to show that text, well, how do we know you're not making that up? Because he was. And so they asked him to show it. And this is what he said.
Okay. Is that when you gave her the hug?
Yeah, gave her the hug right there. My wife did too. We were both very sorry for what happened.
Okay, so at what point did you start receiving text messages from that you cited in your opening statement?
Oh, I just reached out to TPUSA and said, I'm prepping for a debate. Is there anything that's pertinent that I can use here?
Do you find it interesting that people have been asking for, basic answers to questions, and you're saying that you walked into their headquarters and reached out and they instantly...
It's amazing, isn't it? If you reach out in good faith and you're not demonizing them and saying that they're complicit in the murder of people's deaths, that perhaps they're actually willing to release things to you that are pertinent, other than thinking that, perhaps you're diabolical.
Well, I don't know. I feel like if I was going to release that information, I didn't demand that it be released to me.
So his foot he's tapping out in Morse code right there. She's kicking my ass.
I love that.
Help, I'm going down.
In good faith.
I actually never demanded that it be released. I just simply said that this is what was going on in the last 48 hours. Maybe to the media, they could release it. They could release it to PBD. They decided to release it to a guy that called Erica too retarded in June.
So what?
Yeah, I just think it kind of shows that Turning Point is sending you as their horse.
Well, I don't
They
know
just
where
don't
you,
have, they don't have
I
the
don't know where
courage to
you-
have the conversation.
like, I don't
If they
see
were
this-
just releasing something in
Let
good
me ask you
faith
a
to answer
question.
questions.
Do you have any
I've never
evidence of that
demanded,
claim?
it's not evidence.
No.
You're sharing your opinion
No.
that she's too retarded. I can't share my
Uh-huh.
opinion that I think it's going
Well,
to
I never
register
met the
as
chick.
really obvious to the public, that rather than presenting that throughout the course of everybody wanting to know what Charlie was going through his last days, they decided to give it to you to come to my house as some sort of a surprise.
Well,
do you think the
when-
public's not smart enough
Yeah,
to
do
see
you
through
think?
that?
Do you think that if
It's
you
talking
know
about terrible PR.
if you know that there's a huge debate that's coming up, that's going to be probably one of the most viewed that year, and one of the debaters calls you and says, "I'm taking this position. This is the position that I feel like there's the most evidence for," and Candace also agreed to answer many of my questions in regards to this. So if you got pertinent evidence here that I can use, I'd definitely like take a
But
look.
what is the-
It was actually amazing to me. It really was actually amazing to me how if you approach people in good faith and just say, "Hey, I'd actually like to know what the facts and details are around this," they actually do talk to you.
Okay.
So that's his tell when he's that's his tell when he's lying is he laughs.
Yeah.
So when he knows he's lying, that's his tell. He laughs.
So that's why he was setting up for Aubrey, because Aubrey's going to come in and tell him, no, they didn't. They didn't reply to anybody.
That's awesome. Okay, I found the clip too. So after yours, we'll add this one.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Yeah, because they were basically, Jimmy is basically saying, like, you're lying right here, and you're laughing because Aubrey's going to come out. And she hasn't even finished watching the debate, and she apparently had to come on and give a video because she's like, no, I was in charge of their emails. So that's, I think, what Jimmy was doing was setting up this Aubrey clip.
Okay.
Right. And another thing is, and this guy, the idea that this guy, the most transparent used car salesman I've ever seen in my life, is approaching anybody in good faith, is a joke on itself, because this guy is doing this for money. He lied about being paid by TPUSA. Remember how he tried to lie? He goes, "I haven't received any money from TPUSA minus the money they gave me to teach them how to debate. So minus the money they gave me for fake,
he got exorbitant
for fake debate training. They haven't. So they gave you money under the guise of debate training. And if this is your debate skills, I understand why nobody believes a thing TPUSA is saying. This was because what he just said about, well, if you approach people in good faith. So his laugh is his tell when he's lying. This was a hit job. They wanted to get him to first exonerate Israel, which he did in his opening statement. And then they wanted to get him to corner Candace into saying something defamatory that they could that they could use in civil court case against her, and she was too smart for it. And she said, "I'm not going to get myself in a legal pickle." And I think she said pickle to remind everybody he couldn't open up a jar of pickles. But,
Is that true?
Yes, you don't know the jar of pickles thing?
No.
Are you kidding me, Kurt?
This is news to me.
All right, we're going to show you that in a second. So, so this woman comes out. She's a TPUSA insider, and Lionel says it's unraveling. The silence has ceased. The intimidation, the threats, it's all over. Again, watching the unraveling, the undoing, watching the disentanglement of TPUSA and all of its attendants, staff. Strata, sorry. Brace yourself, Sparky. This
Poor
is going to
Jimmy.
be big. So this is an insider going to tell you what he just said. It's obviously he's lying, but she's going to give you the proof that he's lying with her eyewitness testimony from inside TPUSA. Let's listen.
If you're a side sleeper,
my God,
this
it is
almost
me
feels
again.
illegal to
Sorry,
share.
guys.
Every side sleeper is making this
I
exact
should
same.
have clipped this.
I haven't had the opportunity to finish the Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson debate in its entirety yet, but I'm a little more than halfway through, and I just have to get something off my chest that's bothering me so much right now about something that Andrew said, which is Andrew mentioned that he reached out to Turning Point in good faith and received an answer regarding Charlie's text messages back and forth with the security team. And he was saying, oh, it's just such a shocker how when you reach out in good faith, like they might actually respond. Well, as the sole individual who was handling the press@tpusa.com email inbox for months on end prior to Charlie's assassination and after, there were a few other people who handled it too, but I had access to the entire thing after Charlie's assassination. There were so many people who reached out in good faith, both reporters, reputable reporters, and just normie individuals just from around the world who reached out in very good faith with just these kind of similar and questions. And we were told explicitly, like, you don't respond to these people. Like, we didn't respond to any of them. And then, so that's number one. Number two is that.
So lots of reputable reporters reached out in good faith, and she was instructed by TPUSA that you don't respond to any of them. So what Andrew Wilson just said is, again, another abject lie. He was lying about having that text message from Charlie Kirk, and he's lying about that if you just reached out in good, and that's his tell was when he laughs.
Okay, but just the argument alone, let's say he was telling the truth about that, which he's not. Who gives a shit if I asked in good faith?
She's saying that real reporters with credibility reached out in good faith, and they were instructed that you don't even answer them. So that proves Andrew Wilson a liar again. But
the idea, he put up 300,000 himself.
It's not his, again.
He was just raring to defend Israel.
Jack liar. Second part gets even worse. Watch this.
There we go.
When I was fired, I actually mentioned to Turning Point leadership, both to Andrew Colvett and Marina Minas, that there were staff who were concerned about 910, who had questions and who certainly were asking these things in good faith. I mean, these people had uplifted their lives, moved across the country, put off school, done all kinds of things to work for Turning Point. Those people were always acting in good faith, and they had questions too. And it was an environment that was not safe to be asking those questions. And certainly I'm a product of that. So just wanted to put that out there. I'm calling BS on this one for Andrew.
Mute. You're on mute.
It muted me again. StreamYard would be hating me. What do you think about Aubrey? And Jimmy's take was pretty good too.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I hope she has more to tell us. I was happy. I was like, oh wow, she either didn't have an NDA or she's going against it. It's all the information that we can get is what we need. So, I mean, we're not surprised, obviously.
Yeah, and I mean, Andrew obviously lied as if like they're just responding to everybody.
Yeah.
Then how come this is the first time we've heard of it?
Right.
You didn't want to drip it to Tim Pool or Steven Crowder or PBD.
Yeah.
First time you're going to do that? That's a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm wondering, where did he get that text? I mean, is he really going to show it? Do you think he's really going to show it? I don't know.
I don't know. He just went on like basically national television, given how many people were there. He went across the whole internet and said he had these texts. So he better have something. He better use some software to give us some receipts because we need them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so here is, I can't decide which layout I like better for like clipping and stuff like that for us.
I know it's hard.
I know, because in editing, you know, you want to get some good stuff. But okay, let me see. Let me get this full screen. Okay, so this is on Grant Cardone's stage.
Is their life force, the more you push against them. That is an anti-fragile organization, an anti-fragile entrepreneur, an anti-fragile creator. And it's a completely different thing than being strong. Someone that's strong survives and can withstand the storm. Someone that is anti-fragile becomes stronger after and through the storm.
They convert the attacks.
Bingo. The attacks actually become surplus advantages.
Yeah, exactly. So that brings me to your haters, okay? Because I have a lot of haters. And most people say I have the most haters, but I can't have the most. I know you have a lot.
I think I got more.
And Trump's got a lot. I mean, anybody that's got big visibility is going to have a lot. Can you just talk about, have they aided you? Have they provided you with the impetus for more creativity and more solutions and more funding?
No. Well, so there's two types of haters. There's I was trying to find a nice way to say this, but I'm not going to say it. There's
I can say it for you.
Yeah, there's like the purple-haired jihadist on a college campus that wants to murder me and my family.
Oh.
That, like...
I don't have those kind of haters.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. Jihadists.
We're barons.
Yes, we are. Oh, not afraid of those.
Nope. Which we're also being told they don't like anymore. Erica Kirk just put a tweet out.
Oh.
About well, Islamic something.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Of course, because anything Charlie did, she's doing the exact opposite.
Right.
All
And
right.
I think he did have concerns about the spreading of Islam. If I remember, he was, I think, told that by certain people when he was learning about Israel and stuff like that. But I have a feeling he probably would. I don't know that he would support Israel or Islam spreading, but I don't know if he would be as concerned. If he figured out he might have been fed a little bit of a propaganda on that.
Right. Okay.
Those people don't bother me, whatever.
See, my haters are nothing now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they have weapons. We get death threats almost every day. That's part of the game of the space that I'm in. The other type of haters, though, are the ones that are the close proximity ones. And these are the ones I know that had some sort of relationship with me and either betrayed me or deceived me or said that I could not succeed. That is a whole different, those actually get my attention.
Yeah.
Just like the random troubled person on a campus, whatever.
So the obvious, I want to hurt Charlie Kirk doesn't bother you
has
as
zero.
much.
In fact,
Yes.
I actually believe that I am doing my job as a truth teller. The more that
see
those
that.
people are trying to come and murder me.
Yes. Yeah.
I know that might sound crazy.
No, dude.
But in the world that we are in, truth telling is a signature of whether or not you are receiving hate is a signature of whether or not you're telling the truth.
Right. And a sign of success.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's get back here. So this dropped on Grant Cardone's site on September 12th, 2025.
Wow.
I don't know when it was recorded, but it was uploaded September 12th, 2025, 2 days after.
Yeah, and I remember Charlie Kirk actually, and I don't know if it was at this exact one, but he was starting to speak out more about how he would like to be looked at as an entrepreneur. And I found that interesting. Like, whereas like a businessman, which I think he was maybe he was starting to change his brand a little bit because Grant Cardone is an entrepreneur. So I don't know, maybe Charlie Kirk had some big things on the way, but was worried about people sabotaging it from his side in his inner circle.
Yeah.
I don't know, just a thought, but sounds like it wasn't the left that he was afraid of.
Interesting. Yeah, no, he wasn't afraid, and he wasn't afraid of dying. So, for the cause, in fact, he expected it. Right? He expected he was going to be taken from the world early, as we've seen in the text between Candace and himself.
And that was, I remember that time period. Wasn't it 2018 he had sent those texts? Maybe?
I don't remember the dates.
I can't. It was, well, I do remember it was a very politically heated time. And like freedom of speech was kind of under question. There was a lot of people getting kicked off for talking about COVID a little bit after even that time. So it was a very hostile political environment. I still think it is. But I do remember like everything had to be politically correct to even speak. So we were really coming under fire around that time. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had felt like, I'm coming out here saying things that no one wants to hear anymore. And I feel like my life is on the line. Because I remember that was a pretty crazy time. You couldn't say certain things. Like, I don't know. It was just, you'd get, lose your jobs. Like people were losing their jobs over their things they said online. So I'm not surprised he said it during that time either.
Were you online during that time?
Not as a, like anything political. No.
Just, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just as a user, I was in my young 20s, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, I was just being normal.
Yeah. Same. I was a normie back then.
It was, yes, exactly. We're all red pilled, black pilled, whatever people say. I don't know what it is. Just common sense.
Yeah. Right. Common sense. Yeah. Here's the post I wanted to show you of what Mitch had said, so you guys can hopefully. Oh, did I say if we go live with
Mm-hmm.
Mitch, we're looking at it's possibly going to be Saturday? Did I say that or not? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But okay, so also if you're here, please hit the thumbs up. subscribe. Go to ADN 1776 if you have not subscribed to her on X and on YouTube. Okay, and we are going to. Oh, also, Candace hasn't announced when she's going on yet, but I do a watch party, and we're going to stay for today. She's got some crazy information she's going to release, she says.
Did she say that?
She did. Yep. She's going to drop some more new information. So if you want to hang out here for the watch party that we do with Candace, you're welcome to stay. You can stream on another device if you're comfortable doing that. I had asked Candace for permission to do watch parties and asked her to let me know if it wasn't okay. Told her she's welcome to tell me it is and give me her blessing too. But they haven't done anything to stop me or said anything that indicates that they don't want me to do it. So I do it, not every day, but we do it sometimes now. Anyway, you're welcome to stay. And if not, you're welcome to go too. But I would love to have you. We chat here about it and pause during the breaks so that we can chat a little bit. So that's upcoming. So here's,
awesome.
Mitch Manley. So he is a former producer, cameraman for Charlie Kirk. So he was with them for 10 years. He took a year gap away from them and went back right before Charlie died. So his last time with Charlie was in August 2025. So anyways, he's come out and let me share with you this post that he made today. So let me make that bigger. Oh, that's just going to do the video. Okay. Well, I'll play the video first.
I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word.
He's a man of his word. He's saying he's going to do this. He says, clearly Miss Erica Kirk doesn't write her own posts anymore since Paleo Christcon, whatever, Andrew, plans to be dropping his texts on Friday because he promised to drop those texts, I'll give you at TPUSA until 9 a.m. So he's giving TPUSA until 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Friday to have Andrew Colvett or whoever they choose publicly inform us the name of the Rocky Mountain Acting School Erica attended, because I have receipts, he says.
Well, oh my.
Clock is ticking, Miss Francevay, he says. Yeah.
Did anyone know she went to acting school?
I didn't know that. Have you heard it?
No,
in the chat, did you guys know that Erica, I mean, if she did, she didn't pass. Maybe she dropped out.
Got a C. She was mid.
C minus.
She's mid.
She got a participation trophy.
She's about 75 to 80% there. Just like Wilson. That's about where she's at.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Some of the chat said Erica has done it all, man, and I'm with them because her resume is so long, I'm losing track.
Yeah. And nothing for very long, right? It's all just seems like little short snippets.
Yeah. Oh my.
I mean, her longest role maybe was as wife to Charlie Kirk. I don't know.
I'm trying not to laugh my butt off right now. So when did she go to acting school? Was it that year she locked up in her room that she told us to learn to be a Christian? Or was it when she was working as the real estate lady, but / helping models find homes? Was it when she was going over to the Ritz-Carlton when Epstein was there? Like, where's this lady?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Candace says running a few minutes behind because of an earlier podcast, but link will be up shortly. So she sent that at 4:44. Let's see. She says, and her post says, buckle up, boys and girls. We will be releasing more exclusive footage today from 9/10.
Crazy. I'm looking forward to this. Everyone have your clips out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably will sign off around then because honestly, I have another with Elizabeth and I need to go and eat and do
Yeah.
do stuff before that one. But I'll come back in the chat and cheer everyone on during the watch party.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Well, speaking of other obligations that you have and other things that you do, you're going to be with Elizabeth Lane on her members only tonight?
Yes, we're both doing one. Actually, I'm waiting.
Wait, you're doing one and she's doing one?
We're gonna dual stream it.
Okay. You can do members only dual streams?
I'm gonna figure out how.
Well, that's cool. I was wondering that.
I think you can.
Okay.
I think you
Okay.
can. I think you can. We're gonna see. If I can't, then I'll just ask her to co-collaborate.
Okay, yeah, because when you had mentioned doing a members only, I was like, oh, I wonder, not that I have members, I'm still pretty small too. I think maybe I have one, but I could do it for my one.
Well, a lot of times, like Baze will say this all the time, and I'm like in agreement. The best way to build your community is to get gifts of membership. So, guys, if you membership gift Teresa, this is how we build her channel and get her and do members onlys. And those are normally really fun, a little bit more unhinged. You get to talk together a lot more. So, definitely do membership gifting, y'all. That is the best way to build the community. So, that's what we prefer on my side of the house. That's like my favorite thing. And give Teresa some members, guys. We need some members so we can start our members only.
Yes. And John, thank you for the new sub. I appreciate
John.
it. I appreciate you all being here. Oh, and then before we get on to ADN, what she did yesterday, which is phenomenal, and the links in the description, by the way, and her links to Instagram and X are in the description as well. But I am headed to Utah next week for the final day of preliminary hearing. I was there in July, and so I'll be heading out. I'll also be over I'm leaving early so I can head over to St. George, Washington area to see what I can pick up under those rocks for information and people. So
That's gonna be great.
subscribe so you can get updates and that of our time over there. And so I will be doing some live coverage, I think, afterwards. We'll see how that pans out. But looking
Are you
forward
going
to
with some other girly pops? Anybody else you going with?
Well, Brandy lives in Utah, so
nice.
I'm flying out on the 28th. We're both going over to, and that's Brandy Siciliani, and so we're going to head out to the St. George area from Salt Lake and be out there for the weekend, and then come back into Provo and hit the court together. So we'll, have to sleep out. We had to camp out last time, because they only give you 14 spots. So I'm sure for that last day, it's closing arguments. So I don't think the judge will be making a decision that day. He'll just listen to closing arguments. And then my guess is about a week later, he'll probably give us a decision about whether this goes to trial or not. And so I don't know. Oh, Elizabeth Lane, I think she's coming. Oh, no, wait. No, yeah, she is. She's going to come and be there with us as far as I know, unless something's changed on her end. So we'll be there.
That's awesome. I love Elizabeth. I like Brandy. I've only talked to her that one time on the panel, but you're gonna have such a fun time. Actually, Utah, what's really sad about this case, Utah is so pretty. It's one of the most gorgeous states I've ever been to. It's so nice. Like the people there are really nice. And so when this happened, I was devastated. I used to work in Utah. I traveled there. Our headquarters were there, and I always had a nice time there. So I feel like that was a bummer. There we go.
Yay!
We get to 10 members. Let's do it, guys.
Thank you. It is beautiful. So I'm in Wisconsin, and we came from Colorado. So we were in the Rocky Mountains, beautiful. And we came here, and there's not the only mountains there are really are painted on the side of a building in the form of a mural. So going back out to mountains is always really nice.
It is, and they're so pretty.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And if you live anywhere that kind of gets humid, it's kind of a nice reprieve from the humidity when you go to Utah, because I'm in the East Coast and we're drowning out here in humidity.
Are you? Yeah.
It's bad right now because we've had a ton of rain, but it's still really, really hot. So
it's been very humid here the last couple of weeks.
The Midwest can still get very humid.
Yeah.
East Coast is like drowning yourself humid, but like Midwest still gets pretty humid. So I remember that well.
Okay, so tell me, okay, you guys, I was just kind of blown away because I'm a super big proponent of John Bray's theory of the microphone, right? And Ali Top Files, she had first came out with the electrocution theory, which I was a fan of as well. These are theories. We're trying to solve something here. So, we're not scientists and all of that, but we do the best we can talking to people and using the tools that we have at our fingertips to help solve this case. Anyway, so 80 Ann brought on a woman yesterday onto her show who has a different theory. She's from Substack. She had found on somebody on Substack published what is allegedly notes by Lance Twigg and scribblings and drawings and all of that. So it's allegedly, we don't know who that is. We don't know why it was put there. Maybe to just troll people. Maybe somebody's trying to get information out to us. Maybe somebody's just trying to see what they can do, what kind of disturbance they can make or whatever, confusion that they can make. But there's a theory that she has, and it sounds really, it's intriguing. I'll let ADN tell you.
Yes. So I actually have notes on this theory because it is such a big it's a big brain thing. So, but I'm going to read what her claims are. And this X user is named What She Said 72. She's only on X right now in Substack. But she brought this information up in an X space. I listened to it. I asked her if she would come on with me. She agreed. She is a teacher of science and engineering. So when she talks, she's very easy to understand, but this concept is bigger than me. So I'm going to read kind of what her overall theory and proposal is. So she believes, or she's proposing, how's this? She's proposing, not believes, Charlie Kirk could have been killed by a pulsed electromagnetic event, which would have been built into the venue itself, using a Marx or flux compression generator concealed in the underground utility access beneath the tent. It would have been powered on by an antenna unfolded from the Losi Center roof. She's not 100% sold on this, but these are some of her theories. And triggered not by a person, but by the system itself. So when Charlie gripped the microphone with both hands between his knees, that completed something called a geometry system, which is, you kind of look at it like a triangle. And that's what it was kind of waiting for, because he did that a lot in his campus events. So what would happen is a microwave seed current deposited energy at the left base of his neck, and his necklace carried a current which generated a magnetic field. The opposing fields collided, compressed, and violently rebounded, destroying the cervical spine from inside and producing the appearance of a gunshot wound. Because the whole thing is engineered into the site, like the tent and everything else we were talking about, no single person is knowingly guilty. Everyone just built a part of the system that could have taken Charlie out. So that's the overall, high level version. On my video, she got very far into it, why she believed it. I talked to Teresa offline about this. I thought the Lance Twiggs notes, and this is how she thought of this. So she was looking at the Substack with these alleged Lance Twiggs notes, and she said, well, this is weird because this actually looks like EMP information. She's a scientist and engineer. She can recognize those things that you and me may look like, okay, this is just scribbling, this is whatever. But this is why it's so important to have so many hands and eyes on this.
Right.
Because something to you and me is that would look weird, to her made sense. So she started looking into these things. And then she brought up how there was that UVU classroom footage. So she found there was UVU classroom footage in the Pope Science basement. And they basically had a stone rock in the corridor. And on this whiteboard, it said, "We love Vern," which is someone who's connected to this EMP theory. They had capacitor equations and a receiver chair tied to the doorknob. So it all looked like, she said, kind of a recreation of the event that took place, and it was very oddly timed. So she did a way better job explaining that, super high level. But that's kind of how she started coming to these conclusions that an EMP could have taken place. And could have been done with a DEW, which is a directed energy weapon. So that's kind of how that stuff works. If you're thinking about a government operation, that stuff is not off the line. I've covered missing scientists. They were working on this type of technology. She said it's actually relatively simple. It just, to you and I, since we don't ever use this stuff, it's complicated to us, but she said in theory it's actually pretty simple. To me, it's not, but to her as a scientist, she made it sound like it is. So that was kind of my takeaway, was like, okay. And she went through videos on how he had to be sitting upright to allow airflow to come through to make sure he was basically the only person hit. Like, it was very specific. So Teresa, what did you think about it?
I loved it. Do you have any clips? I know you sent me like some minute markers, but I didn't get the
I didn't
video.
flip it up yet. But I could probably, let me see.
While you do that, so what was interesting to me, one of it was all very interesting. I want to look at it again and look at the pictures. First of all, I have the first question I have is, where did she get the pictures from in the college, like the chair, like all
She
of
said
that?
she came across that video.
Had you seen the video before?
I'd never seen this video. And guys, I'm gonna try and pull up the exact video here.
Yeah, while you do that, so there was a video that she found, and I don't know who's the author of the video, who the author of the video.
AP Press.
Oh, okay.
It was like a
reputable company.
Reputable place.
Okay,
I did not believe this.
So AP Press has video of the college indoors where students were, sheltered in place, right? And so it's really interesting, her breakdown and what she's showing us there, and it's so weird. It's very creepy. It's so creepy. So the other thing is, and I had been thinking about this, where there's a couple of things, but one is, there was so many, whatever happened, there was more than one player involved in what happened to Charlie Kirk. And perhaps it was funny because it was before your video, and I've thought this at different times too, is that they had different people doing different things so that no one person was responsible for the actual thing, and nobody could actually know who's the one who actually did the thing that took his life, right? So that was one of the things that she went through and explained, her thinking on that, the kill switch, like there was not one person who was solely responsible who did that, but multiple people. The other thing that she said that made a lot of sense to me is that, in some of the other theories, you would have to have a lot of people involved, it seems like, and a lot of secrets, which is harder for a larger group to keep, where as if each person did a thing. With her theory, nobody would know that it was harmful in any kind of way, but they were putting together, pieces of the puzzle that was going to accomplish the picture that they needed to have at the end. So that was really interesting to me too. But all of it was pretty eerie and intriguing.
It is really intriguing. And also I saw someone's comment about getting gifted a membership. Memberships are gifted because I know this is like newer. Memberships are gifted randomly. So you have to have a setting turned on in your memberships, like on your YouTube, that you accept membership gifting. They're gifted randomly. They can even be gifted to people who are not in the chat, but they are already a subscriber. So guys, if you didn't get a gifted membership, it's random. No one can like assign you a membership. It's like just through the algorithm or whatever. So just wanted to address that because I saw people asking. That's how it works. Oh, you're muted.
I just learned about that recently too. And LSU Nick sent 10 gifts. So people will get some random gifts, which is awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Nick, very much. And let's see. Okay. So let's get your screen up. And you like this layout. Okay. So you're driving.
I'm driving. Sorry guys, if we get more ads, I didn't clip anything. I love that also you named all the greats. Ian Carroll inspired me to start my channel. Baron Coleman's high IQ makes us want to think bigger and better. So you're in good company. All right, I'm going to play this through. Chat, yell at me if it doesn't play. We know we can pull a Baron every once in a while over here. So
this video, if you click in the, now I'm just going to talk over, it's just a quiet video. This video was filmed by the Associated Press. And as soon as I started watching it, I was like, what am I even watching?
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's weird. We have a desk and a cord and a rock in the hallway. And then you can't see it on this one. There's a couple versions online, but if you pause it right here, it says this is the physics department in the Pope Science Building at UVU. And it's in the basement of this building. And the story behind this video, like if you click under it and read what it says, it kind of gives a summary of what a news reporter would use this for. But it states that students were barricaded in place. And yeah, it has like a story. Can you see the story?
I can read it really quick. Let me read it for everyone. Storyline. Some attendees who bolted after the gunshot at UVU rushed into 2 classrooms full of students where the periodic table adorned the wall and formulas were written in blue on the whiteboard. They pulled tables from the center of the room to barricade the doors, stacking them atop each other. Others were turned on their side in a corner in a last-ditch defense. Desperate, someone grabbed an electric pencil sharpener and wrapped the cord tightly around the door handle, then tied the sharpener to a chair leg. Thursday morning, the classrooms were quiet and in disarray. Backpacks and notebooks were left on the desk, some scribbled with notes on electromotive force in green pen and pink highlighter. Does that sound about right?
There's another one too. There's another one. There's like 2 versions of this on. Go back to the video.
Okay. Here. You want me to start playing?
Yes. Now, right here, if you pause it, this whiteboard on the side of the wall that's leaned up against the wall.
Right here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's visible to everyone, if they can read it, but it says, "We love Vern," VERN. And then the doors open and the room's in chaos. And
really quick, guys, because of processing, you cannot read it now while I'm playing it again. When I was watching this live, I don't think it processed at a high end. It does say "We love Vern" on this whiteboard down here. It said that. I saw it live. So if you want to watch this video separately, it does say it, but I'm reading this, I'm watching this live now, and I'm like, everything looks blurry comparatively to when I did it live. So that happens when processing happens, especially when you use a third party. But just want you guys to know that actually was on this whiteboard. It looks blank to us now, but I'm going to keep letting this play, but I don't want you guys to think it wasn't there. It was.
And as it pans around the room, on the whiteboards, there's sets of equations.
Do you want me to push play? See if we can stop it there?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to stop it because I have stills of all this. I just want to get like an overview. So as I'm watching this, I'm like, this is so weird. First of all, I teach school and we practice barricading in place and the door be open and that chair in the hallway tied to the doorknob. And then I noticed, like, if you just let this play, that there was like, they say all this, but then this is so far from where the event took place. Like kids were going to run across the campus and then go downstairs to this Pope Science Building to shelter in place.
Right.
It just didn't make sense to me. And if you go back to the very beginning, I was like, this is so weird because the door says live stream and recorded, just like the whole entire event was live streamed and recorded.
That's so freaky.
And then as soon as Charlie, like, at one point picks up his microphone cord, the event happens, or the bang, and then his chair falls over about like this.
Right.
And then after,
I just stopped it on accident. I just saw it. I want to pause it.
The room is live streamed and recorded. And
right
if and so then I zoomed in and on the chair. So if you go back to the chair,
this one?
Yeah, it's just kind of at the very beginning, or I can.
If you don't understand conflict, you are very easy to manipulate.
I just was like, what is this rock doing in the hall? And then I was like, wait a minute. They paved over the site where Charlie was killed with stone pavers. And this is like a long hallway, and there's just this giant stone sitting here. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what if this is like symbolically representing, because as it went
Can you pause it
through,
for a
and
second?
then I looked up the
So at this part, so what I try to be careful of anyways, and I'm not like super skilled at it, is making sure that there's not confirmation bias. So one of the things that I was thinking is that stone may have been there. It looks like that door is too heavy to prop open by itself, maybe by anything that they had. So possibly a rock was there to assist them when they wanted to prop the door open for whatever reason. So that was just one thought that I had on that part.
Yeah, and also if you guys hear me saying a lot, I noticed that playing this back, but she only had one monitor. So she didn't necessarily know the whole time where I was at. So I'm trying to kind of coach her through that, like she's still okay to keep going. I stopped doing that like in the middle, but if you guys heard that, I apologize. It was our first time running this through, and she doesn't have dual monitor. Like I'm looking at Teresa here and I'm looking at our screen here. She had to try and figure out, it was her first time going live. So that's why you hear that. I apologize. I know it doesn't come across as well when you're replaying something, but during the live, it was a little bit different. So I want to make sure she could know that she's still on the right path. She can keep going. We're with her.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, but she did really great.
Oh, she's great. She's really, really good. I think that kind of is like the big picture for this portion where she was just trying to lay out. And by the way, this is the day of, this was September 10th that this video was all happening that they took. That's really weird. Why did you have, and like you said, don't want to have too much confirmation bias. That seems very specific. So this is what's getting her mind into trying to think about what happened at Charlie Kirk that day. It doesn't mean this is them scheming it out 100%, but this was her version of trying to track what she saw happening that day after the fact, after seeing this video, and what they could be telling her by looking at the notes and this chair falling over and the classrooms having this burn guy who's related to electromagnetic technology. So to her, they were all clues, right? This isn't a smoking gun, but it's a clue for her to work through her research.
It's what piqued her curiosity to go, I wonder. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, it's not an allegation, but it's just her thought process. So, going through this footage, you're more looking at what got her here. It's not her. Yeah, it's her thought process. This looked weird to me. This is how I came here. This is what I figured out. So that's what we were walking through in the beginning portion of this video. It's just how she got here. Because it is a different theory than anything we've ever seen. And she's just being honest. She wasn't like, oh, I just knew it was EMP for the very beginning. She's like, I saw the notes. I saw this weird video about the chairs. I put 2 and 2 together. I started thinking about this in this terms. And that's how she did it. So
yeah, that's good. I'm glad you said that. So when you guys are watching, just remember that was her thought process.
Yeah, it's her thought process. It's not like an accusation to UVU or to Lance, whatever. It's just she's seeing these clues. I would just call them clues. Yeah, a little clue to try and help her kind of get there. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys was the Lance Twig notes. I thought that was an interesting section. What do you think, Teresa?
Yeah. Let's see. Candace is going on at 5:45. So we've got about 15 minutes.
Okay. We'll play like 2 minutes and then we probably want to get to supers.
Okay. Yeah.
You just want to do that. And then guys, if you like this information at all, you can just check it out on my channel.
Yep. I put the link in the description and watch the full video there. It's good. Okay.
Our live went so fast, girl. I can't believe we're already an hour.
I know.
That's a good thing. You want it to be, fun. Okay, I'm getting to the exact spot here. Okay.
So these notes were she found them on Substack.
She found them on Substack. I had also heard Turkey Tom leak them in a video. And these are just alleged Lance Twiggs notes. It could have been planted for some reason. But remember, this is just her process and how she got to this theory.
Yeah.
E stands for the electric field and B stands for the magnetic field. And then you have them contained in a contained bubble, so to speak. Up here, you have an antenna. And then you have this set of energy that comes down like a lightning bolt through the center.
Mm.
Okay. And so I was like, you know what? That makes sense, because if you watch Charlie, you can't see a bullet. I could never really see an actual bullet hole or wound. And at this point, John Bray had already come out with his theory, and I had listened to what he had said about it, and it made sense. But I was also like, there's parts of it that I found hard to make sense. So here was the electric and magnetic field, and then we have an antenna over here. And then this gray writing right here says separate and direct. So you can separate and direct the current. And then here it says stabilize and calm down. Over here you have a cross vector, and then you have these radiating energy circles coming out. And then over here, you have like an antenna pulse. So you can see the pulse coming in, and this drop it down arrow. Then over here in the corner, you have T and Y. And up here, you have a horned antenna. But here you have a vector display. So in energy, you have direction. You have like the X-axis, the Y-axis, and the Z-axis. So how waves travel through space, you map them more in like a three-dimensional space, or it's called vector mapping. And so you have this swirling energy, and it's making like a single.
Martin Luther said, I want to make Moses so German that no one would suspect he was a Jew. Now,
spout up the center. So it's condensing and then exploding out the top. And then over here you have LC, AC, like the low C center. And then you have AC, which is a type of current to use. And then the L is like a microphone here. And then over here it says help, and then it says stabilize. And so I just looked at this note and I was like, my goodness, this is so kind of crazy. What are all the other notes say? And so it was like the more I looked at the notes, the more I could see. I mean, most people might look at these. I'm trying to find this specific one to kind of show. So like, for example, on this note, we have this platform right here.
I feel like that's a good overview of kind of what she was showing. But could you see how she was just rattling that off? She has no notes here, guys. This is her presentation is put into this free form, and she's telling you from memory what these things look like due to like with the science information she knows about EMP. So I thought that was honestly incredible rewatching it, because I'm over here like I take notes for everything. She's just going out. She can't even she can only see the screen she's on. She can't see any other notes, so we know we're looking at her only screen, and she was just talking from memory. So I just got to say that's
amazing.
That's also incredible.
Yeah, and so she later in the video goes on to describe Charlie sitting up on an elevated spot so that he's not grounded, and the air, like she gets deeper and deeper and deeper into this. I really encourage you to go watch. It could make you think of something too. So yeah.
Yeah, and she talks about how it's he'd have to have something from behind him directing energy this way, and then something I think it was like how he was sitting. There's a bunch of stuff, but it would basically make a compression on his body, which is why you see his head kind of, I could just say, make his head looks funny. You see videos of his head and it doesn't look right. And so it can kind of do this. And there's actually a video of her showing what happens when a can is basically is used this EMP technology on it, and it makes the exact same sound we heard at UVU. So I definitely recommend checking the rest of that out, because it is very thorough.
And isn't the business that Erica Kirk's mom is in, right? They were like doing.
Yeah, she was working on that kind of technology. Erica Kirk was in the CIA-ish video talking about EMP threats on our security. So they're not shy to that. Some people say that kind of technology exists at Fort Huachuca. We actually didn't get into that in my video because she really wanted to just focus on the theory itself, not the who. But they do have ties to some of these people. So that is another reason I found it very interesting.
Yeah. Super interesting. Wow. Good job.
Yeah, good. Kudos to what she said, 72 on X. She's awesome. Go follow her X.
Yeah. Do you have what is it? What is her name?
It's WT. She said 72.
Okay, WT, she said 72 on X.
Yep.
And so you'll be seeing more of her with ADN. So that's amazing. I look forward to that. It made me think more about, I know there's certain people who believe that Charlie, was staged his own demise. It made me, and at different times throughout this past year, I wonder if he wanted to do that or they wanted to do that for whatever reason, stage something and it went wrong, it went sideways. So yeah, anyways, there's lots of different things. And so as the months go by, if we go into trial, which I believe we will, we'll still uncover more and more and more. And hopefully it leads us to answers in the end, right?
Yes. And I saw someone comment that like a human body is not a can. No, it's not. Charlie was wearing metal though. He was actually they had metal bolted into his seats, which was very weird.
Yeah, that was
different
strange.
than normal. So his chair was different than it would normally have been. He was wearing a metal necklace, metal ring. The ring we saw in a video broke off. So just things to consider. Keep an open mind. She does a really good job of explaining it, and I did not do it any justice besides a very high level overview.
Yeah, so that's what I was like. The ring has always been an interest, and I know it was hinged, but still getting shot. How would a shot, from a gun have enough force to make a hinged ring pop off?
And do we even know it was hinged? Is that 100% or is that what they told us?
Yeah,
That's
I don't
where
know.
you have to ask yourself. It's like, that's the only reasonable explanation they can give us. And to me, it looked like it kind of fell off the, didn't look like, you know what I mean? It didn't look like it was like, it looked like, just kind of,
yeah.
It wasn't giving a hinge whatever. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to some of your supers and see about getting ADN done so that we can stay tuned for the stream. LSU Nick 413, thank you for the super chat, $25 super chat. Teresa and ADN, my two new favorite YouTube people. Happy to see you all. Thank you. Ship It Nation. Thanks.